In this video I want to take a look at an Encore E4 basic alarm system. This is what you get. When I got it, I basically emailed the company with some questions and I never got an answer, so I'll let you decide on as far as support goes on something like this. And anyway, let me show you what's in it. I already took everything out of the bag, so I can go a little faster here. So you get your quick start guide and your quick start installation guide, and this box is just the siren. So I'll go ahead and open that up, or just take everything out. Here's the brain. Here's the sensor, shock sensor, and we got another switch, harness, and this is the regular harness, which I already separated some of the cables or the wires. Then you have your antenna, and I'll show you this in a little more close-ups. I just want to get everything out of the box here. And then we have the remote, secondary remote, and then the main remote. And then we have another harness, and then we have another LED harness. It does come with 2 batteries, and then that's the antenna. This is 2 stickers, and then it does come with a double-sided piece of double-sided tape, which I use it for that, and I just dropped. I think I'm missing another piece though, because I'll show you why later. So that's what's in the box, and that's what the box looks like. There's that remote. There's the 4 channels 2-way alarm system. Thin design, I don't know about that. Long range 2-way LCD remote transmitter with ultra wide backlight. E75 mini long range 1-way transmitter, dual stage electronic shock sensor, cord learning, anti-scan receiver. So that's the description of the E4. So basically what you get is a basic system. This there's no remote start on this. So the first thing I noticed is the last siren that they're talking about. And I apologize if it's hard to understand, but I'm sick, so been trying to get over this cold. So now I thought this was going to be one of those huge versions, but it's actually pretty small, as you can see. So that was kind of a nice surprise there. And let me go with the brain. So you can see it's very small as well. However, the only what do you call it? The only it's made in Taiwan. The only that picks it up. There you go. And those are the connections there. Here's the other main connector, and then there's this antenna. Not sure what that's for, but there's that. So we have that, and now the next thing on the list is obviously we get 2 batteries. These are 2 CR2032 batteries. So you get that, and we get a nice 2-way remote, or pager remote. Obviously this uses those batteries. Let me see if I can open it. So you can see 2, which is okay, instead of 3 like my secondary on the other one, on the other remote. By now all of these remotes should be USB rechargeable. There's no reason why these things should still be using regular batteries, frankly. Okay, I'm trying to put it back together and I'm stuck here. Alright, so that's that. Just to give you an idea of how big it is. This is my old one that it's broken at the moment. That's what the internals look like because I took it out. I replaced the battery once, but this battery went bad too, so this is the problem with this remotes. The good thing about it is that they're USB rechargeable, but unfortunately the batteries are like the worst things on it. So I need to figure out how to fix that or just leave it alone and use the secondary remote, which kind of defeats the whole purpose of having a pager. Now, let's see the buttons. They're okay. Kind of rubbery. What I did want to point out is the thickness. This is actually a little thicker than this one even. But the length is about the same, you know, with the exception that the antenna on the old one goes up a little more. But this thing is just huge. I mean, you can tell they're still pretty big, which for an alarm system, like a simple alarm system or any alarm system, it's kind of they're still pretty big. Now this is the secondary, which is much smaller. It has a weird, very odd shape. I don't know why it's like that, but I guess it's trying to slim it down somehow. So if I press it, you can see that it works. The bad thing about it is that if you look at the buttons, the lower you go, the smaller they get. So it's fine here, and then this one's harder to press or, you know, just kind of get to. So that's kind of an odd shape. I don't like it. Let me see if I can get my old one here. My other one, I should say. So this is the secondary for the other alarm that I had. And as you can see, this is well made. The bottom part is metal. This is all plastic. So I don't like this because this thing's always break. So I don't know why they're still making it like that, but I prefer the metal, and this fits pretty good. The problem with this one is that sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, even though it has new batteries. So I don't know, every alarm I've had so far has some issues, and so far the alarm works, but the remote's kind of, you know, they've gone crazy. So there you go. But yeah, the metal is definitely something you definitely want on all of these things, because these things really take a beating. This is all plastic. I mean, this is plastic on the top, but the bottom is metal, which I really like. And that's that comparison on that. And again, you know, there's no reason why all of these things shouldn't be a USB rechargeable by now. For a small car, again, you want something simple, something that you can hide better. That's why I prefer just a single alarm with, you know, nothing else like a starter or anything. My car is small anyway, and I don't need all that, and this keeps it a lot simpler. So let me go through the rest of the items here. So this is the pager, call pager antenna. If you press this, then you can call your pager here. What I like about this is that it's super tiny. I mean, look, this is the 2-stage shock sensor. It's that small. I mean, really, this is like my thumb size right here. So that's pretty cool. I like it, because then you can really put it anywhere if it actually has a good distance. The next thing I want to bring up is the dual stage shock sensor. I like it. It's small, but the first time I did the video, I missed something very important here, which I'm going to tell you. If you look at it, first of all, it's clear, and it has this magnet on the rubber there. I guess that's just how it works. I don't know. I've never seen that, but excuse me. But the biggest thing about this, and why I sent an email asking about it, is because if you look at it, you don't have any mounting tabs on it. There is nothing to put a wire tie or cable tie or anything around this thing. it has this groove here, and I guess you can put a double-sided tape on there, but somebody missed the boat on this. You know, there's an arrow here. I don't know if that's supposed to go towards the front or what, and it's not on the manual. They didn't answer me, and that's the one thing that I was like just dumbfounded. Where are the mounting tabs so you can actually mount it with cable ties? At this point, I guess you can use a long cable tie or a double-sided tape, but I have never seen that on any other alarms, and this is just like the worst thing ever, you know, in terms of the design. How well does it work? I don't know. I mean, it's got a nice pot right there that you can move around, which it seems to work pretty well, and it's easy to see because actually you have like these black letters on there, unlike the other ones that you can barely tell where you are. So that's that. But I was pretty disappointed with the mounting tabs on this. I mean, there's nothing to literally, you know, use on it other than wrapping the whole thing around, which I don't know. I think somebody really missed the boat on that, but that's just my opinion. Alright, let me go over some of the wires here. So this is your typical LED. I don't know what color it is. I haven't checked or tried it yet. Then you got your antenna for the this one here for the pager. You know, your usual pager antenna wires. And then we have your sensor for the two-stage sensor wires, like any other. And then you have your door lock wires harness. Then we have your regular what do you call it, programming switch. And let's see what else. Then we have our regular, I forgot which harness this is, but I think there's a power harnesses. I got the two what do they call it, the fuses here. And lastly we have this harness, which is a 10-wire harness. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I already took half of what I wouldn't be using, and that leaves me with about 5 wires to be used, which is kind of nice because the less wires, the less you know, mess of wires I have on the car. And you know, that's all you need. You just your basic alarm. You know, and most of this stuff is mainly for convenience. You know, open your doors or whatnot. Excuse me. And let's see. So that's kind of nice. You know, I narrowed that, and that's the reason I like simple alarm with none of the starters, because you know the small cars don't really need that anyways, especially on a manual car. That's just an extra feature that some people like just as a cool factor, but I really don't care. I just like the basic alarm to work the way it's supposed to. So that's pretty much what you get, and then you know you get a diagram on this as far as the installation diagram. And you can even see on the shock sensor it has 2 mounting tabs on it. I don't know if you can see that, but you know, I don't know, maybe that's something different, and I mean, I just never seen that, but everything else seems to be the same. The other thing I should mention here is the what do you call it? I just drew a blank on here. Give me a second. Let's see. Oh, the as you can see, there is no relay for the starter, which or harness or anything, which is kind of odd because if I remember right, they mentioned something about the wiring of that relay somewhere, and they mentioned some wires that you know you don't even have, so or coloring, which is something I was kind of confused about. I mean, I kind of figured out what, not figured out, but I kind of looked at other diagrams to kind of figure that out. So here is the manual and the let's see, operation manual, installation manual that I downloaded, because this is just a quick guide, remember. So let me see if I can tell you. So right here we have the starter. It talks about a violet wire from heavy gauge harness, which you don't have or doesn't come with. And then there's a purple wire that it's not there either. So you actually don't get the relay or anything related to that, which it's kind of one of those things that you wonder why, since that's just the most basic part of the alarm system that you're going to use anyway. And that's the only question I had, but again, I never heard anything back from the company, so other than that, this is what you get, this is what it is, and thankfully this thing is small enough to stick and hide a little better. But that's the look at the E4 from Encore. I looked at other companies, but they all had the built-in starter, and I didn't want that. So there you go.